Hello there, Sherman, Leave a Legacy, focusing this video on the 13th law of leadership, which is the law of the picture. And again, this comes from the book 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. This one actually starts and begins with, if you've seen the videos, I want to call them movies, but I think they're just episodes of The Band of Brothers, which I think comes from a book, where he talks about the Battle of the Bulge and how the leaders were able to see a specific picture, a specific outcome that they wanted to have occurred. And what they did is they led by example. It talks about how, I think it's Captain, or maybe even got to General Winters, and how he led the people and he led the troops, and how oftentimes he was the one that up front, running in, behind trees or obstacles in order to not get shot, running down, the middle of the road. And that then allowed him to then call upon the troop to be able to follow him. And they definitely had, despite the fear of engagement, were able to follow his example based on who he was as a leader. And ultimately what he knew that they needed was number one, survival, but then ultimately victory. And so as a leader, you need to really hone out that picture and oftentimes be reiterating that vision and that picture constantly, that as that continually gets ingrained into the followers and the other leaders in your organization, they're going to eventually come to understand for themselves what that picture means. And so the more that you basically almost over communicate that vision and that picture, they're going to be able to then buy into it, or at least understand, right? So oftentimes I'll tell the team, in the face of ambiguity, you're going to think worst case scenario. So a lot of times for our sales reps, when they don't get any phone calls back from potential clients, they think, oh, the worst case scenario, they're dodging my phone calls, they're ignoring my emails, they don't want to do business. It's because they have no information to go from. So in the face of no response, they think, oh, they don't care, they don't want to engage with me, when in reality they could be dealing with some serious stuff, like parents get sick, or work project got delayed, or they're in the process of merging with another company, and so they have a bunch of deadlines they got to hit. And so you have to be able to constantly communicate that picture for your team, so that way they know exactly where they're headed, so that way they don't know or fill in the blanks of where they think they might be going, because they're going to really think the worst case scenario. When they can repeat back to you the vision or the picture that you're describing, that's when you know you've communicated it effectively enough. Question to you, being a leader, is what's the picture that you're describing to your team? Have a fantastic day.